The road to Karbala. Day 1 of Muharram had passed. Imam Hussain radiyallahu anhu, his family, and his companions were moving closer to one of the most significant moments in Islamic history. But what happened during the next few days? Let's look at the historical reports. Before we continue, it's important to remember that some details of these events differ between sources. In this video, we will focus on the events that are most widely reported by historians. Day 2 of Muharram. According to the most well-known historical accounts, Imam Hussain radiyallahu anhu arrived in the land of Karbala on the 2nd of Muharram in the year 61. When asked about the name of the place, he was informed that it was called Karbala. This was no longer a journey toward Kufa. It had become a place of waiting, a place where history would soon change forever. The caravan of Imam Hussain radiyallahu anhu set up camp in Karbala. With him were members of his family, including women, children, and loyal companions. At this stage, the group was relatively small compared to the forces gathering against them, yet there was no sign that Imam Hussain radiyallahu anhu intended to abandon his principles. And perhaps that is the first lesson for us today. The truth is not always the easiest path. Sometimes standing for what is right can feel lonely. But faith teaches us that we should not abandon what is right simply because it becomes difficult. Day 3 of Muharram. As news spread, more troops began arriving under the authority of the governor of Kufa. Historical reports mention that additional soldiers joined the forces already present in the area. The pressure on Imam Hussain radiyallahu anhu was increasing. The possibility of returning to normal life was becoming smaller with each passing day. Despite this, there is no report that he abandoned his commitment to what he believed was right. His companions also remained with him, fully aware that the situation was becoming more serious. This is a powerful reminder for our generation. But real character appears when we face pressure, criticism, or hardship. Day 4 of Muharram. By the 4th of Muharram, the military presence around Karbala continued to grow. The camp of Imam Hussain radiyallahu anhu was becoming increasingly isolated. The promises once made by many people of Kufa had not materialized. The reality of the situation was now clear. A small group stood in the desert, surrounded by uncertainty, while larger forces continued to gather nearby. Yet the remarkable thing is that neither fear nor pressure caused Imam Hussain radiyallahu anhu to compromise his principles. He remained calm. He remained patient. And he remained firm. How often do we panic when facing even a small test in life? A difficult day. A disappointment. A problem we did not expect. The events of Karbala remind us that patience is not weakness. Patience is strength. And those who trust Allah during hardship often discover a strength they never knew they had. Day 5 of Muharram. By the 5th of Muharram, historical reports indicate that more forces continued arriving in Karbala. The numbers surrounding Imam Hussain radiyallahu anhu and his companions were increasing. The situation was becoming more difficult with each passing day. The possibility of a peaceful resolution seemed increasingly distant. Yet despite the growing pressure, there was no sign of fear overcoming the camp of Imam Hussain radiyallahu anhu. The people with him understood the seriousness of the situation. But they also understood the importance of remaining steadfast. This is another lesson we should remember today. The value of a person is not measured by how many people stand beside them. The value of a person is measured by whether they remain upon truth when everyone else walks away. In a world where people often follow trends, popularity, and public opinion, Muharram teaches us something different. Stand for what is right. Be patient during trials. Trust Allah even when the outcome is unclear. And never allow pressure to make you abandon your principles. As these days passed, Karbala was no longer simply a location in the desert. It was becoming a symbol of faith, patience, and steadfastness. The hardest days were still ahead. But even before the events of Ashura, the lessons had already begun. The lesson that truth does not depend on numbers. The lesson that faith is tested during hardship. And the lesson that some people choose principles over comfort, regardless of the cost. Perhaps that is why the story of Karbala continues to inspire people today. Because every generation faces its own tests. And every generation must decide whether it will choose comfort, or choose what is right. To be continued.